Namaskara. Welcome to the subject Irrigation and Bridge Drawing. Myself, Lokesh G, working as a lecturer in Civil Department from Government Polytechnic, Kudligi. In this session, we are going to discuss about canals and drawing of canals. In the previous session, we would have learnt about different types of earthen bunds and also their different types of components such as side slope, revetment, earthing, core walls, rock toe, and drainage arrangements. Along with, we have learnt about drawing of earthen bund with homogeneous material, which is made up of a single type of material, and earthen bund with hurting, which is made up of two types of material. In that, hurting material is more impervious than the outer material, and then again earthen bund with core wall. This is also same as hurting material with earthen bund, but in core wall the thickness of the central portion is very less compared to the hurting material, and core wall is generally made up of earthen puddle core wall or concrete or steel. In this session, we are going to learn about different types of canals and their components, and also we will draw the cross section of canal in partial cutting and partial embankment. After this session, we will able to identify different parts of the canal and also the types of canals. Along with, we will learn the drawing of cross section of given type of canal for the given data. So what is a canal? Canal is any structure which carries water from one point to the another point. Generally, water stored in dam is carried to the irrigation field for agricultural purpose. For that, we are going to use canals. So canals in generally in trapezoidal shape like this, and this canal is lined canal, that is it is protected with a concrete lining, and this is also another type of canal which is carrying water over a river course or some stream. Next, classification of canals. Based on their function, canals can be classified as irrigation canals which carries water to the agricultural fields, and for navigation purpose also the canals are used. That canals are known as navigation purpose. It is used to transport goods and peoples. And if the canal is used for power generation, that type of canal is known as power canal, and feeder canal which feeds to the other canals is known as a feeder canal. So in these pictures we can see this canal is used for agricultural purpose, and this feeder canal, this is the feeder canal, is feeding to this branch canal, and this is a navigation canal which is used to transport goods or peoples, and this is a power canal which is used for generation of the power. Next, classification of canals according to sizes and capacities. We can see a source of water here, it is stored for agriculture purpose or any other purpose. We have to carry the water from this source to the target source. Okay, so let's see. So this is the main canal which carries water from the stored part. It may be a earthen bund or a reservoir, or it may be a flowing river. From this we are taking the canal, we are taking water through this main canal. This main canal carries water and feeds to these branch canals like this. We can take the water from main canal to branch canal. Next, from branch canal, the water is distributed to the major distributary canals. From this distributary canal, water is supplied to the minor distributaries. From these minor distributary canals, the water is carried to the field channel. Here we are using this water for the agricultural purpose. Same like here also it is used for agricultural purpose. Next, let's see the parts of the canal cross sections. First, let's see what is canal bank. These portions are known as canal banks. This is this bank is in filling, that is, it is artificially made by man and constructed. This is the cut portion of a canal. These are known as the canal banks. These banks are used to allow the flow of water and also avoid to overflowing of water. Then hydraulic gradient or saturation line. When water flows through the canal like this water tries to seepage through the canal. So like this. So, and due to this portion becomes wet due to the continuous contact with the water or the seepage, and the uncontacted portion remains dry. To differentiate this wet portion and dry portion, a line is drawn, or it is represented as a saturation line. This saturation line is very important in the design purpose of the canal, and this represents canal section in filling, that is above ground level it is constructed. Next, canal bank in filling. So in filling means it is artificially made by man. See, this is the ground level. Above this ground level, the whole structure is constructed. That's why it's known as canal bank in filling. Next, canal in cutting. So this is the ground level. The structure of the canal is below the ground level, and this structure is constructed by cutting out of the earth from the natural source. Cutting out this portion, this canal has been constructed. So that's why this is known as canal in cutting. Next, side slopes. See, the canal, this is in cutting portion and this is in filling portion. See, ground level. So above ground level it is known as filling. So this slope is side slope, and for generally for filling, the side slope is given as 1.5:1, and this is below ground level, and this is known as canal in cutting, and this slope is generally provided side slope in cutting as 1:1. Next, let's see what is FSL level, full supply level. The depth of water flowing to full level of canal is known as FSL level. This is the canal bed level. So the depth of water flowing is known as full supply level. Next, canal bed. The bottom portion of the canal bed is known as canal bed. Freeboard. The space between top of the bank and the FSL level is known as freeboard. This freeboard is provided so that water will not overflow over the banks. It's generally about 0.5 meters to 1 meter. Let's see what is berm. So berm is this portion, and this portion is in cutting and this portion is in filling. The space between the toe of filling and the top edge of the cutting is known as the berm. This space is generally provided of about 0.5 to 1 meter, and by providing this we are avoiding the slippage of this constructed portion into the canal, and also it helps the silt deposition which is carried in water, and also it helps to expansion of the canal in future. Next, let's see, this is the service road which is provided on the canal bank itself. It is about 3 meters to 4 meters in water in width, and it is provided for the maintenance of the canal and and this is the dowel, and this dowel is provided to act as a barrier between road and the canal. This is generally above the FSL level and also above the road level. Next, see different cross section of irrigation canals. So canal cross section in fully cutting, that is, if the canal is constructed below the ground level like this, it is known as canal cross section in fully cutting. Next, canal cross section in fully embankment or filling. Like this is the ground level. Above the ground level, the whole structure of the canal is constructed. That's why it is known as canal cross section in fully embankment or filling. Next, canal cross section in partly cutting and partly filling. So let's see, this is the ground level. Below ground level there is a portion of canal, and above ground level also there is a portion of canal. So the full supply level is in between. Full supply level is both above the ground level and also below the ground level. So it is known as partly cutting. So this portion is partly cutting and this portion is partially filling. So it is named as like that. Today in this session we are going to draw this type of canal. Let's see one of the exercises. Before starting problem, we should read all the data given in the problem so that we can draw the drawing without any mistakes. Let's start. Draw to a suitable scale the typical cross section of canal in partially cutting and partially filling with following data. Bed width of canal is 4 meters. Side slope of canal in cutting 1:1. Side slope of canal in filling 1.5:1. RL of bed level of canal 199 meters. RL of ground level 200.5 meters. RL of full supply level, that is FSL, 201.5 meters. Top width of right bank is meters. RL of top of right and left banks of canal are 202.3 meters. Freeboard 0.8 meters. Saturation gradient 4:1. Provide inspection path of 3 meters on left bank. Provide a dowel of 1 meter width at top and width with depth of 0.3 meters, berm of 0.8 meters. Like this, we have to read all the data and note it down so that we don't miss any data before starting the drawing. So these are the steps I am going to follow to draw this drawing. So up to 14 steps are there. I will explain in now. Let's start the drawing. First, note down all the RLs from the given data or problem. So I have noted down all the RLs: ground level, bed level, full supply level, top level. Then draw a line representing ground level. So this is the line which I have drawn to represent the ground level, and I am going to write the drawing is to a scale of 1:100. So next step, draw a line representing bed level. So bed level value is 199, so it will come below the ground level. So to draw bed level, the difference between ground level and bed level is 1.5 meters. So I have measured 1.5 meters here and drawn a line representing the bed level. Next, draw a line representing full supply level. So in this step, we are going to draw this FSL level. The value is 201.5 meters. So the difference between ground level and FSL level is 1 meter. So, and the value is more than ground level. So that's why I'm representing it above the ground level. So I have measured 1 meter here and drawn the line representing the full supply level. So next step is to draw a line representing top level of bank. So the top level bank value is 202.3, which is above FSL level. So above FSL level, we have to draw the top level. So the difference between FSL level and top level is 0.8 meters. So I have measured 0.8 meters with respect to FSL level and drawn this line to represent the top level 202.3. Like this, we have to draw all the given RL. Next, draw the canal bed for the given width. So the canal bed will be drawn on the bed level. So here somewhere we have to write that one. For that we need we need bed width. So bed width is 4 meter. This I have taken from the problem. So this 4 meters I am going to measure here somewhere in between, we can anywhere write, and I have measured here 4 meters and drawn this line to represent the bottom width of the canal. After drawing bottom width of the canal, we have to write the slopes to represent canal in cutting. So draw the line canal in cutting for given slope and extend it up to the ground level. So side slope in cutting is 1:1 as given in the data. So this is the bed level. So I have drawn 1 meter horizontal and 1 meter vertical as per the given slope, and I have drawn this line and extended it up to the ground level. Like the same I have done on the right side by drawing vertical one and horizontal 1 meter and joining these 2 points and drawing this sloping line. So this represents canal in cutting. Next, draw the berm width at ground level. So this is the ground level. I have to draw the berm width for the given length. So next, so to draw the berm width, in the data they have given as 0.8 meter. So I have measured 0.8 meters from the top edge of the canal. From here to here I measured 0.8 meters and drawn the berm, representing the berm. Same thing I have done on the left side also. Next, draw the line of canal in filling for given slope and extend it up to top level of bank. So above the ground level, the canal is called as canal in filling. So we have to draw that one. Let's see what is the data they given. For side slope in filling, they have a given slope of 1.5:1 horizontal to vertical. So from the berm edge, see I have represented here berm edge. From berm edge, I have drawn 1.5 meter horizontal and 1 meter vertical. Then I have joined these two lines and extended it up to the top level of the bank. Same thing I have done on the right side of the bank. Next step is to draw canal top width, dowel and service road. Let's see one by one. So first let us write the top width at right bank 3 meters. So on the right side of the bank I have measured 3 meter length and mentioned it as top width of the bank. From here to here 3 meters, that is the top width of the as per given in the data. Next I have to write the dowel width of 1 meter to a depth of 0.3 meters. So this is the dowel portion. So I will zoom it now. So this is the edge of the canal at filling. This is the top level of the bank. Top level of the bank. From here I have measured 1 meter as given in the data. Dowel top width as 1 meter. So I have measured 1 meter. To draw this sloping, so this is in filling, so I have to take this same slope which is given for filling, that is 1.5 horizontal and 1 vertical. So for that, from this edge I have measured 1 meter and from here I measured 1.5 meter. Then I joined this line. Then, but this dowel line is for only depth of 0.3 meters. So I measured 0.3 meters and stopped here. So this portion is represented as dowel, which acts as a barrier between service road and the canal. After that, I have to write the inspection road or service road, which is of a length of 3 meters. So from this edge, dowel bottom edge, I have measured 3 meters and drawn this line to represent the service road. So like this, I have drawn service road and dowel and also the left bank, left top width of the bank. Next step is draw the line of canal in filling for given slope and extend it up to ground level. So from here we have to draw the sloping lines. So in side sloping in filling given as 1.5:1. So I have measured 1 meter vertical and 1.5 meter horizontal from the edge of the service road and joined these 2 points and extended it up to the ground level. So this portion represents in filling, and the same thing I have done here, 1.5 horizontal and 1 vertical and joined this portion and extended it up to the ground level. Like this we have to draw all the main drawing lines. Next, draw the saturation gradient line from full supply level. So the full supply level is this level. From this we have to draw the saturation gradient line. So saturation gradient as is given as 4:1 from the data. So for that, first I have represented the full supply level, that is at 201.5 meters. So I represented it, and this is the full supply depth 2.5 meters. That is the difference between the full supply level and the bed level is 2.5 meters. This is known as depth of flow, and the difference between top level of bank and full supply level is known as freeboard, and it is 0.8 meters. I have represented it. From this point and this point, we have to represent the saturation gradient with a sloping of 4:1. For that, from this edge, I have drawn 4 meter horizontal as given here and 1 meter vertical. Then I have joined these 2 points and extended it up to the ground level. Same thing I have done on the other side of the bank also. Like this, we have to draw the saturation gradients. Next step is to erase all unwanted lines and hatch the drawing wherever required. So almost we have finished the main drawing outlines. So now we have to erase the unwanted lines like this. This line, these lines we don't require for final presenting. So I'm going to erase all those things. After erasing all those things, we will get the final drawing like this. And I have achieved this portion to represent the filling portion. So this blue color dots I have mentioned representing it as a filling portion. Then next step is to dimension the drawing. In this drawing, wherever required, we have to dimension. So I have mentioned first bottom width of the canal as 4 meters and berm width as 0.8 meters, freeboard as 0.8 meters and top width as 3 meters, dowel top width as 1 meter, dowel depth as 0.3 meters, service road width of 3 meters. Like this, wherever you want, you can mention the dimensions very clearly. Next step is to label the parts of the drawing. So whatever the parts you want to label, you have to label it legibly. So like this, I have represented this portion as dowel and this portion as service road and this as saturation gradient 1:1. Next, I have represented this as depth of flow 2.5 meters. Then I have mentioned this as bottom width of the canal and this has side slope in cutting and this portion as berm and this portion as freeboard and this portion as top width of the bank and this portion with a side slope in filling as 1.5:1 and I have mentioned sloping at some points like this. wherever you want, you can label and dimension it properly. And finally, we are representing the given drawing as this for the given data. So following these steps, we have drawn the given drawing, and finally we got this type of drawing to represent. Now let's see some of the multiple choice questions from this session. Let's see can we answer it. So the first question is, a canal can be defined as an artificial channel generally constructed in trapezoidal shape on the ground to carry water to irrigation fields from. So it is asking for source of water to canal. So the options are river, water reservoir, another canal, all of the above. So a canal can carry water from any of these things. So the answer should be D. Let's see. So the answer is D. So next question is, an canal which carries water from its source to agricultural fields is known as. So the canal which carries for agricultural purpose, it is irrigation canal. So the options are navigation canal, power canal, irrigation canal, none of the above. So as we know, irrigation canal is used for agricultural purpose. The answer has to be C. So the answer is C. Let's move to the next question. When the ground level is higher than full supply level of the channel is said to be in. So the ground level, when the ground level is higher than full supply level, so it represents cutting. So first option is cutting, filling, partial cutting and filling, none of the above. As we know, when the full supply level is below the ground level, there is no structure above the ground level, so the whole structure will be in cutting. So the option A is the correct answer. So the option is the correct answer. Next question, if the channel bed is at or higher than the surrounding ground level, the channel is said to be in. When the ground level, if we take it as this ground level, then and the bed level is above the ground level, the whole structure is above the ground level, so the canal should be in in filling. So the options are cutting, filling, partially cutting and partially filling, none of the above. So the answer has to be filling, because the whole structure is above the ground level. So the answer is B. When the ground level is in between the full supply level and the bed level of the channel is said to be in. So this has to be partial cutting and partial filling, because the ground level is in between the supply, between the depth of supply. So it will have both partial cutting and partial filling. So the answer is C, that is partial cutting and partial filling. When water flows through an canal or channel, seepage takes place through the banks. Due to this seepage, the banks get saturated in the lower portion while the upper portion remains dry. This sloping line is known as, the options are horizontal line, hydraulic gradient line, and wet line. So the answer has to be hydraulic gradient line, which is drawn to separate the saturated portion and the dry portion. Let's see the answer. So answer is B, that is hydraulic gradient line. Next, Side slopes of canals in filling or cutting is represented as H and V. What does letter H and V represents? We know H represents horizontal and V represents vertical. The options are, first option is horizontal and vertical. Second option is height and vertical. This is the wrong one. Height is wrong. And head and velocity. This is also wrong and none of the above. So the option A is the correct answer. So the solution is A. Okay. These are my references. This is our team of irrigation and bridge drawing subject. If you have any doubts or clarifications or any suggestions, please write us to lms.dtek@gmail.com. Thank you for listening.